Claude Code or Codex? Ever since OpenAI latest Codex release, developers have been asking the same question. But unlike other videos, I'm not just sending the same prompt into each tool and calling it a comparison. That's not professional, and let's be real. No one cares if your to-do app has slightly better spacing in Codex. In this video, I'll break down everything that actually matters, so you can decide which AI coding tool is right for you. We'll talk about models, pricing, and main features. At the end of this video, I'll share my honest take and which tool I personally chose. Quick note before we start, OpenAI split Codex into 3 products: Codex IDE, Codex CLI, and Codex Cloud. In this video, I'll just call it Codex and cover all its features as one. Let's start with pricing. Both Codex and Claude Code work on paid subscription or API usage. For Codex, the Plus plan is $20 a month. That gives you about 30 to 150 messages every 5 hours. If you are a heavy user, there's also a Pro plan at $200 a month. With that, you get 300 to 1,500 messages every 5 hours. Anthropic's pricing plan are pretty similar. The Pro plan is $20 a month that gives you about 10 to 40 prompts every 5 hours. On top of that, there are the Max plans, 5 times and 20 times. As the name suggests, they multiply your limits by 5 or 20. The 5 times plan costs $100 and the 20 times plan costs $200. So when it comes to pricing, Codex actually gives you more prompts for money. But here's where things get different: the models themselves. Now, when it comes to context window, Codex with GPT-5 offers a massive 400k token window. Claude Code, on the other hand, gives subscription 200k. Codex lets you use GPT-5, which is OpenAI's top coding model. It also comes with different reasoning levels: minimal, low, medium, and high. Now, the reasoning levels affects you in 2 ways. First, the higher the reasoning, the longer it takes to get the response. Honestly, I find it a bit annoying sometimes when I code with high reasoning. Second, higher reasoning also costs more tokens, because the model is literally thinking more before it gives you the answer. And of course, you're the one footing the bill. Claude Code gives you access to Sonnet 4. If you want Opus, the heavier model designed for tough tasks, you'll need one of the Max plans. But the real question here is which model is actually better? Now, a lot of YouTubers try to answer this by sending a to-do app prompt and judging the results. I think that's missing the point. First, real daily users like us aren't writing prompts like that. It's not a common workflow. Second, maybe a different prompt would favor a different model. Testing 1 or 2 prompts means nothing. So should we rely on benchmark scores? Well, benchmarks are what engineers use when they train these models and decide if they are good enough. But honestly, have you ever seen a coding model released with a bad benchmark scores? Exactly. So what we can actually do? First, we can look at OpenRouter. We chose real usage data from the community that at least gives us some clues about how each model performs in practice. There's also a site called lmarena.ai. It lets users send the same prompt and then choose which result was better, without knowing which model generated it. But honestly, I don't love this approach either. It ignores the context of the prompt, which is critical, and it doesn't factor in response time. Speed really matters if you are planning to use AI tools in your daily workflow. If you've ever hit a limit on Cursor and been routed to those slow requests, you know it's a nightmare to work like that. So here's the bottom line. I can't tell you which LLM is universally better, because it really depends. The only real way is to try both and test them on your own use cases. That might sound disappointing, but I'd rather give you real-world advice than sell you the dream of effortless vibe coding. So to wrap the model sections, Codex gives you more prompts overall, but both models perform well. GPT-5 does have a context window that's twice as big, and that can be a real advantage if you are working on large repos. I'd love to hear from you. Drop a comment which one you prefer and share your insights so we can learn together as a community. Now things get interesting. Let's talk about features. Both Codex and Claude Code integrate with VS Code-based IDEs like Cursor and Windsurf. That means you can review your files directly inside the IDE instead of being stuck in the terminal. But Codex has one extra feature I really like: an undo button. It sounds simple, but it's actually a big deal. It can save you a lot of wasted prompts and frustration. Codex also has something called cloud tasks. These run in the cloud, which makes them perfect for background jobs that don't need an interactive session with the model. It's like the background agents in Cursor. The only catch is, we don't really know the pricing or limits yet. On their site, it just says generous limits for limited time, so we'll have to wait and see. Claude Code, on the other hand, supports sub-agents feature. That means you can create different roles, each with its own prompts and permissions, and then use them together inside your main chat. This is a really powerful feature in the ecosystem right now, because each sub-agent has its own context. That separation lets them stay focused on their specific task. And beyond that, Claude Code also gives you a wider range of commands, especially for managing context, which makes a big difference if you are working on complex projects. Of course, both tools let you connect MCPs, and both can handle PR reviews, either on creation or just by mentioning them. I've tried to give you all the key aspects so you can make your own decision. If you are still here, make sure to like the video. I put a lot of work into collecting this info. And don't forget to subscribe for more videos like this. So, what did I choose? Before OpenAI latest update, I was using Claude Code mainly because of the sub-agents feature. In my daily development, that gave me a huge boost in results and far fewer hallucinations. Until Codex supports something similar, I'll be sticking with Claude Code. But honestly, this competition is great. At the end of the day, we, as users, are the ones who benefit. Now I want to hear from you, which one do you prefer, Codex or Claude Code? Drop your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video. Bye bye.